energize your workplace. Mike's here for some serious fun.
Mike, it's always such a pleasure to chat. Thanks
Jeff,
so much for reaching out.
Yeah, Jeff, it's so good to see you. Everybody, I've got a very special guest who I met on his podcast. Jeff, introduce yourself to the folks and tell us about the amazing podcast that you have.
Well, I love talking about the Insights at Work podcast. My name's Jeff Livingston. I'm the Director for Client Advocacy for ADP. And we are just so lucky because ADP really supports thought leadership. They really support creating engaging content. And the Insights at Work podcast, one of the most popular podcasts for HR in North America, is something that I'm just so lucky that I get to work on.
It's a fabulous podcast. I highly recommend it to anybody listening to this. And I had the pleasure of being interviewed by Jeff. When was that, Jeff? A year ago or something? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It was around this time.
Yeah, yep. I think so. And it was an amazing conversation. I have to have Jeff. That was one of the most fun, engaging podcast interviews I've ever had. So thank you for that, sir. Now, the reason I have Jeff on here is because during that podcast, he mentioned this fabulous story that I just loved, and I know you're going to love. I talk all the time, Jeff does, I know as well, about the importance of recognition in the workplace, of celebrating your employees, appreciating employees, recognizing employees. And especially one thing I talk about as well is whenever possible, recognizing the family members of employees, because they're the support team for your employees. And so if you can do anything to recognize your employees, and especially during the pandemic, during the lockdown, and with so many workplaces working in a hybrid situation with remote employees still, you have to be extra intentional about recognizing your employees. Would you agree with all of what I just said, Jeff?
100%, Mike.
Yeah, it's so important, right? So Jeff, tell us your fabulous story of what happened when you started working from home after the lockdown. Tell us the story. Walk us through.
I love sharing the story because it really does show how important it is to engage your employees and recognize how the families are an extension of what's important to them and what they think they really value. And so what happened in my instance was, the pandemic had just started and maybe we were a couple months in. I was filling in for as chef, as physical trainer at home, as babysitter, as teacher, as so many Canadians were. And in my instance, what we did a lot and what ADP really supported was recognizing those families. And we would have regular calls. I remember one time we had one call and it was Canada-wide, and I gave a review that my daughter gave me where it was like I was given 1 star as a chef, like 1 star as a parent. And it was terrible. It was like worst chef in the world, worst father in the world. And what I just reiterated with everyone across the country was, hey, we're all in this same boat. And pretty much all of our kids, they're just huge critics of ours right now.
Right.
One thing that happened that really impacted me was, I was being that chef, I was being that teacher one day, and I had my EA, who was our 7-year-old daughter, Sophie, at that time. We set her up at a desk right beside me. And one day I'm just on a call working away, and Sophie's over there doing her thing, and someone's at the door. And so Sophie runs downstairs, opens the door, and then she calls me. And I come down, and it was someone who was asking for Sophie. It was a courier who was asking for Sophie, and they had a gift basket for her. And so, of course, she's 7 years old, super excited.
She must have been squealing with delight.
Oh, she was over the moon, Mike,
Yeah.
over the moon. And she brings that gift basket in, and in the gift basket, it was a gift basket from my boss. And my boss had, she had like a costume in there and a little crown and a book about where the wild things are. And there was a personalized note from my boss, and it was to Sophie. And it was thanking Sophie for being a part of the ADP team and for supporting me and helping out Daddy and the team. And it was from my boss, Shauna. And it was just so thoughtful. And it is something definitely that I will, I'll remember forever, Mike.
That is, like you said, it is so thoughtful. It's, it doesn't take much to do these things, but talk about a long lasting impact. And I'm sure not just on you, Jeff, I'm sure Sophie will remember this for a long time too.
Oh, absolutely. And every time, we would be on a call with my team and with Shauna, Sophie would always want to show off her gift basket and show off her costume. Yeah. And she just got to know everybody really, really well, as I'm sure all of our children did with all of our team members.
Oh, it's such a great story, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that. That is how you do it, folks. That's how you rock this thing, right? You just do these great gestures that make such an impact with your employees, with the family members of your employees. It is such an effective way to demonstrate your appreciation, your sincere appreciation and thanks to your employees. So thank you for sharing this story, Jeff. So appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike. Signing off from, as Sophie says, worst father in the world, worst dad in the world.
One star father, 1-star chef. Thank you, Jeff.
1-star dad. Thanks, Mike.
1-star dad. Wear that as a badge of honor, Jeff.